Good evening, I hope everyone's well today. Thank you for watching, it is appreciated as always. If you find value in this video, consider liking and subscribing, it does help out the channel a lot. Housekeeping first of all, we've had quite a few Reform UK victories over the past few weeks, so we're going to go through these now. We've had, David McLennan in West Lothian Council. This one is very important because it's the first outright win in Scotland for Reform UK, and it's in one of the cabinet members' backyard, Angela Constance, if memory serves, on the Scottish Executive in the Mickey Mouse Parliament. It polls us to believe in Scotland, Reform UK could be the official opposition next year in the Holyrood elections, after the Holyrood elections, supplanting Labour, which is a positive. So well done to David. Then we've got Owen Ferrin in Derbyshire County Council. We've got Joanne Rush in Middlesbrough Borough Council. We've got Kyle Abel in South Kesteven District Council. Michael Walker in Darlington Borough Council. And Richard Litchfield in South Keveston Council as well. So well done to all of these. I'm sure they're going to do good work. And that is very well done to all of them. So well done. We've had a few gaffes by the Labour Party and the Labour government. I know. I know it's hard to believe, but yep, that's where we are with the Labour government. And assimilation of migrants into the United Kingdom is a big hot topic that a lot of people are talking about, including the Home Secretary, Shabana Mahmood. Now, when she was in opposition, she was all very kumbaya with the refugees welcome crowd. She was very kumbaya with the Palestine Action as well. She was even in Greece welcoming the dinghy divers from Northern Africa into the European continent, but she seems to have changed her tune as of late. Wants to save her own arse, in my particular view, so we're going to click on this first of all. Shabana Mahmood is suggesting that millions of British Muslims could lose their citizenship and warns it was because of a new report that warns such. Let's have a look now. Reprieve in the Runnymede Trust found that millions of foreign-born parents could see citizenship removed. It's a start. Doesn't go nearly far enough in my particular view, but it's a start. Now we've got the Blackburn MP who recently ousted a sitting Labour MP. That's right, Labour imported their own replacement MPs. How considerate of them. Let's just have a look now. This is Adnan Hussain. He's saying that he doesn't like the Home Secretary's stance on the Muslims that are not assimilating into the UK. He says it must be challenged. Citizenship must be a mutable right, not conditional privilege, irreversible, equal, and non-conditional. All of that's false. All of that's false, and we're going to get into that later in the video. Assimilation is essential, and it shouldn't be controversial to say if you do not assimilate, you are going home. You are going back to your country of origin. That should not be controversial, all right? And I don't want to hear anything about, oh, we need migrants, both legal and illegal, to prop up GDP. I'd rather have a basket case economy and a cohesive society than GDP line go up. That's just my opinion. And then we got onto this one here. Scottish Tory Lord defects to reform and launches campaign in Holyrood. This is important because Labour tried to go after him with their leader in Scotland, Anna Sarwar, in a recent debate in Question Time. This is Lord Offord, by the way, and he has got rid of the seat in the House of Lords now because he wants to run in the Holyrood elections next year. Basically, Anna Sarwar is one of the biggest race baiters in the country. I would wager he is just behind Humza Hafez Yusuf as the biggest racist in the country. It's just against white people. I'm going to play these clips now. The first one is exposing what we want, essentially, which is assimilation. And this is from the former Reform Lord, Lord Offord. And then we'll get into Anna Sarwar's response. And we're going to get into this now. So we're going to play these clips.
Recent polling suggests that the top three issues of concern to Scots are the NHS, the economy, and immigration. The politicians speaking on this topic are reflecting what the concerns that people have. That's why we're talking about it, because this is a concern that's come up quite recently, only in the last 5 years or so, and it's illustrated by the scale, the numbers. That's what's being illustrated here.
He's perfectly on point here. Mass migration doesn't allow for assimilation. It's just too big of a task. Back in the 1960s, 70s, 80s, when mass migration was in the tens of thousands, roughly between 40 to 60k a year, that's right, 40 to 60,000 people a year net, you can assimilate that into a large country, that's not a problem. When you've got mass migration running at 10 or 15 times that number, we're talking 600k to a million a year, you can't assimilate. You literally can't.
As I said before, we've got a tradition of being welcoming. Of course we do. But we need to know who people are. We want them to assimilate to our culture and speak our language.
Completely agree. Assimilate or leave. This shouldn't be optional. If you don't want to adapt to British values and British culture and the way that we do things in this United Kingdom, you know where the door is. Do not let it hit you on the arse on the way out. Now, Anna Sarwar actually attacked Reform and said that Reform UK are implying that he isn't Scottish or British and that he's Pakistani. And he calls them racist for doing so. Let's have a look at this next clip and let's listen to Anna Sarwar's own words, because we've also got a clip that he's happy to parade around when it suits him, and this is what the race baiters do. And this is why people like me, sensible centrists, will question people, race baiters, and their loyalty when they put out crap like this.
Party that deliberately spends tens of thousands of pounds questioning my loyalty to Scotland and lots of other people's loyalty to Scotland.
We will only truly get real power if we just have more Pakistanis sitting in council chambers and parliaments.
So straight away, in this clip, no British flag, no Scottish flag, and he identifies himself as Pakistani. Not Scottish, not British. So Anna Sarwar, you're being handed your arse here on question time. People are perfectly happy and reasonable, but we question your loyalty when you can get up on a stage and say, well, I'm not Scottish, I'm not British, I'm Pakistani. And we need to get into positions of power to push our agenda forward. What agenda would that be? How is that agenda different to my agenda as a British citizen in this United Kingdom? Please let me know.
But actually having more Pakistanis and South Asians sitting in the corridors of power making the decisions. And that's where I'll end tonight, is to say the change is coming. And the days where our South Asian community are viewed as a vote bank or a curry bank are well and truly gone. The days where South Asian communities get to lead political parties and get to lead countries is now upon us. The days when South Asian communities get to decide not just which school our children go to, but what they are taught in those schools.
So he wants the South Asian community, the Pakistani community, he's identified himself as such, no heavy lifting from me. They want to dictate what's taught in British schools, and they want to dictate how the country is run along their South Asian, Pakistani lines. This is the danger, and this needs to be called out, which is what I'm doing here, which is what Reform UK is doing as well. It needs to be called out whenever we see it. He is not a patriot. He doesn't identify as Scottish. He doesn't identify as British. When people have mixed loyalties, you need to call it out. I'm loyal to the United Kingdom. I am British. I was born in England of Welsh and Irish descent. I am British through and through, and nobody can tell me different. I don't have another country to go to if it goes wrong in the United Kingdom. Anna Sarwar, for example, Humza Yusuf, for example, Sadiq Khan, for example, Shabana Mahmood, for example, if this goes the way of the dinosaur in the United Kingdom, if Europe goes the way of the dinosaur, they can all go back to Pakistan. Why don't we preempt it? If they're currently and wanting the destruction of the Western civilization by pushing their agenda forward, they should go home. This shouldn't be up for debate. And then we go on to the final clip I want to show you, which is Sadiq Khan down in London recently. He can't even bring himself to sing along to a Christmas song. So we'll leave that one there. What do you think of these clips? Do you think it proves a point? If you can't serve two masters, it's as simple as that. Either you're serving the British electorate or you're serving vested interests, such as the South Asian community. For some reason, they're not the British community. We're not one and the same. And it's troubling to me. So, luckily, I have a solution. Now, bear with me, but I think you might like it. All right. 1707 to 1948, immigration wasn't an issue. So after the Act of Union, up until 1948 being the specific year, that's when the British Nationality Act came in, and it gave former Empire nations and dominions, their citizens, former children of the Empire, the right to emigrate to the United Kingdom and claim British citizenship. Anything in 1948 to 1997, we should treat with caution. So that would be the Windrush generation, that would be people like Sadiq Khan, that would be people like Shabana Mahmood, that would be people like Hamza Yusuf and Anna Sarwar. These people would fall into in a traffic light system. They would be in the amber category, meaning question mark. The red category would be anything post 1997, which is, I don't care either way. If they can prove that they are of value, if they can prove their worth to the United Kingdom, maybe we can have a conversation about some staying. Anything pre-1997, post-1948 would be on the amber traffic light, and anything pre-1948 and post-1707 Act of Union would be a green light. We can't do anything with it. I would have it as simple as that. Because if you look at people like Ben Habib, nobody, I don't believe, will question the fact that he's a British patriot and is loyal to the United Kingdom. Nobody would question that. But when you get race baiters and you get people on the left, because it is always people on the left, and they say, well, we need to look after the Pakistani community, by identifying themselves, othering themselves away from the indigenous British population, that is where the conflict of interest comes in. And that's what I'm calling out here. That is what Reform UK is calling out. Now, if you like my traffic light system, let me know. If you think it's too simplistic, let me know. It probably is. It's just something I've been thinking about. I think that we want a winner here. I think we want a winner with calling out people that are trying to divide our communities. If you're identifying yourself as other and something different to me as a British citizen, we've got a big problem on our hands. And it's a big problem in the millions, if not tens of millions, of people that have been granted citizenship that we need to revoke. Like, comment, subscribe. I will see you in the next video. Have a good day.